Hi, welcome back live to New York. I'm Brent Musburger. We're going to talk to Pete Rose about the World Series and why the Phillies can't seem to get into that series. But first, let me take you around the league and update all the scores. Pittsburgh and Atlanta just getting ready to start the third quarter. Steelers are dominating. Philadelphia and New England, of course, you're watching this game, and the Patriots lead. Harold Carmichael kept that streak going, though, with a big touchdown. Detroit dominated early. Then it was a blocked punt by the Redskins, and they're back in the game, just about ready to start the third quarter. The New York Jets have amazed today. Without Richard Todd, they have destroyed Buffalo, 35-7. Chicago and Green Bay, a comedy of errors so far, I'm told. Both teams too tight, playing for the NFC Central leadership. Tampa Bay and Kansas City. John McKay passed up a shot at the field goal to tie it, so Kansas City continues to lead by 3. Bud Wilkinson, desperate for his first victory, has fallen behind Baltimore 7-3. The Cleveland Browns, under their new coach, showing a lot of improvement this year. They lead New Orleans 7-0 in the first period. And Irv, let's take everybody back to Monday night. The Dallas Cowboys, first and goal, down on the Redskin 2-yard line. I still can't believe Tom Landry's play calling down there.
Well, he only had 4 shots because he ran the ball 3 to finally kick the field goal, and as everybody knows, he lost the game 9-5. But when you're running a goal line defense, where the Redskins do, the defensive tackles and defensive ends pinch to the inside. There's the first play, Brent.
Then after that, Staubach came back to the right side of his offensive line using Tony Dorsett. No play action, didn't try to freeze the outside or anything, Irv.
Well, the key man here is the middle linebacker. The tackle pinches down, the end pitches down. McClinton comes in, makes the play off tackle the way he should. But the thing that puzzled me, Brent, though, is why the Cowboys didn't go outside.
So they stack them up here, and the Cowboys had to settle for a field goal, and it was a big, big moment in that football game, perhaps, Jane, the biggest of all.
I don't understand why Theismann would take such a risk, Brent, in handling the ball the way he did that last play in the end zone.
That was the most entertaining.
Why would he do that?
It was indeed a risk. Do you remember the moment? 3 seconds left in that football game. All he had to do is go down on the ball, and Tom Landry would have no time left at all. And instead of cross, he pulls out and runs into the end zone. If he'd have fumbled, the Cowboys would have recovered. They could have won the game.
Brent, that's absolutely right. People, you must keep this in mind. Once the ball is snapped, play is not dead until the play ends. In this case, either having Theismann be tackled or run out of the end zone, but he runs around down here. If he drops that ball in the end zone, the Cowboys recover it, they get a touchdown.
Irv, the rematch is coming up Thanksgiving down in Dallas. We'll be down there for that game. Will the Cowboys remember what Theismann did to him on that last play?
There's no question about that. The Cowboys have a great deal of pride. They're the defending world champions, and there's bad blood between these two ball clubs.
All right, let's come back and talk to Pete Rose about the Phillies and the upcoming World Series. So it's the Dodgers and the Yankees again in the World Series starting Tuesday night. The Phillies have failed, and Pete Rose, the question in Philadelphia is why?
Well, the Phillies have a lot of tremendous players. They got Boa, they got Lazinski, they got Schmidt, they got Maddox, but they have no one, I think, that leads them. You know, they have no one with World Series experience that starts every day. They have no one with Championship Series experience, winning Championship Series experience that plays every day, and they just go their own way, and they just don't play with the same intensity or the same desire that they do during the season, and they come out to open up the playoffs at home, where they were a very successful ball club in 1978 and lost the first 2 games to the Dodgers. They just didn't take it to the Dodgers. They just sat around and waited for something to happen. You can't do that with the Dodgers because they'll make it happen.
Pete, the Dodgers are very emotional right now, and I'm going to show everyone one of the key reasons why. Jim Gilliam remains unconscious in a Los Angeles hospital. He was stricken back on September 15th. Number 19, now their first base coach, was a top-flight infielder. Sandy Koufax, 65 World Series. Rollins bid for a base hit, robbed by Junior Gilliam, who saved the World Series. And the Dodgers have vowed to win this championship for their stricken coach.
I think the spirit we're playing is in his spirit. You can only dedicate after you win, and that's what I really feel will happen.
He's there spiritually every single minute of the day. It's very important for us to not only win it for ourselves, but to win it for him.
I know that he has dedicated a lot of his time to a lot of players on our club, and I think it's just the only way we can do some things that maybe we should have done in the past, and that is to say thank you.
Pete, will this be a factor? Can this help motivate a baseball team?
I think the way all the Dodger players feel toward Junior Gilliam, I think it definitely will, because every day before the national anthem, they have a moment of silence at Dodger Stadium for Junior and his family, and And this makes the players well aware of what the situation is, and they all love him so much, and he talks a lot to all the visiting players also. I've had a lot of discussions with him because he's a switch hitter and I'm a switch hitter, and we talk about hitting, and they just always, you know, they all just dearly love Junior Gilliam.
All right. You know, when Pete Rose said the Phillies need a leader, immediately came to my mind, they need Pete Rose. Well, we're going to talk about Rose's future a little bit later today. Doubleheader of the Dallas-New York Giant game. Let me show you some highlights. These plays have just occurred earlier today. We've got a lot of action going on, like Atlanta and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, of course, off to their best start in history. And here is Bradshaw looking for Cunningham on the 19-yard line. Cunningham was knocked out of the game on that play, set up a field goal. Now watch Lynn Swann, as Pete Rose pointed out, how wide open he gets underneath that zone down to the Atlanta 43. And here is Rocky Bleier getting in for the touchdown, cutting to the outside where the defense wasn't. It was 10-0. And then it was Terry Bradshaw coming back from that knee injury. Great fake on the play, rolls out and gets in for that score. Now, Philadelphia and New England, of course, this is the contest you've been watching. Beware of the Eagles when they're a 7-point underdog. But it was the Patriots early who dominated. Montgomery on the carry, fumble for the second time. Patriots take over. They've got a great chance. And it was Calhoun. Off tackle. Patriots get up on the scoreboard. Grogan now coming up. Play action. Fine running quarterback. But he comes up passing this time, looking for Morgan. 32-yard gain. That set up a Patriot field goal. New England 10, Philadelphia nothing. Horace Ivory now on the carry as the Patriots still dominate. But remember, it's early. 21 yards to the Eagle now, 1/2-yard line. And then Cunningham bammed in. It was 17-0. But Jaworski quickly to Carmichael, keeps the streak alive. And the Eagles are very much in this football game. And let's send you back right now to Gary Bender.